Hello. This week we're going to do something a little different. Because of the variety of different subject areas we teach, grade levels, etc., I'm going to let you explore add-ons for Google Sheets and for Google Forms and to find something that's useful to you. I'd like you to take an overview of the entire environment before you make your decision. And this video is going to show you exactly how to do that and how to use some of the features or some of the information provided in the add-ons environment to help you make your decision. So here we go. You can see that I've opened my Google Drive and I've got a variety of files in here. Now, as you should remember, add-ons don't appear in the web store directly when you search. So if you've heard about a great extension to any type of Google product, and you go in and you search in the web store and you're pretty sure that you have the name correct and you don't find it, chances are it may be an add-on, and the person who recommended it to you may not be familiar with the difference between an app, an extension, and an add-on. So if I'm looking for add-ons for Google Sheets, I can open up any sheet. So let me just start with this one. And it doesn't even matter that I'm looking to use the add-on in this particular sheet. I just must start from the sheet environment. In the menu on the top, you're going to find a menu item for add-ons. Click it, and then Get Add-ons. That's going to bring you to a listing of add-ons available for Google Sheets specifically. Now, some of these add-ons may appear for several different apps, such as Forms and Sheets. But if it doesn't apply or isn't associated with Sheets, it won't appear in this list. So let's take a look. To start with, when the screen loads, you're going to see some icons that represent different add-ons. As you scroll down, you can see there are quite a few. And we'd like to be able to narrow this slightly, and there are several ways to do that. One is, notice that there's a rating, a star rating, next to some. Not all, but some of the icons. So that's one way, a quick way to look. But another way is simply to mouse over the icon for an add-on, and what that's going to do is that is going to give you a star rating, and it's also going to give you a very brief description of what this particular add-on does. So yet another mail merge. What does that do? It creates email campaigns with Gmail and Google Sheets. Personalize and track each email sent. Okay, Power Tools. One-click solutions for daily tasks. Split cell, remove duplicates, change case. That's a useful function at times. Find and clean up data. Okay, so something I may or may not be interested in. What you're going to notice also is that on this icon, most of them will include the number of users. So that can be a good indication as to how popular a particular application is. If you look at Autocrat, it's 152,246 users. So something's telling me that this may be something that people find useful. Okay, once I look through the list, and this is what I'd like you to do, is I'd like you to scan down and just take some time and mouse over and get an idea of what some of these apps do, especially the ones with a lot of users and with high ratings, high star ratings. Okay, if you want to look more deeply into any particular tool, let's come back to another mail merge, simply click on it. Now don't click on the free button, but simply click in another area, and it will bring up a good description and more detail about the particular add-on. Note a number in parentheses next to the stars. This is indicating the number of people who have actually rated the app. So if I were to go back to the top level using that arrow, you can see while there are over 608,000 users, which is quite a few, there are approximately 2,500 reviews. And with a rating of over 4 stars, I think this is something that bears looking into. Now, The ratings, the introductions may come in several different ways. This is very common, showing you pictures and some notes about what you can do. So I can create a draft in Gmail, or I can use a template. Using this arrow will let me advance through the information that they would like to highlight. Okay, I can send emails right away, or I can schedule the mail merge for later. So that's a nice feature. It doesn't have to happen right away. Track and follow in real time the status of your campaign. And notice at some point in this series of slides, you may run into a video. Now, sometimes the video will be the only slide, and sometimes a video will not be included. But just be aware if you see the icon. That the video tutorial or the video overview can be a very useful tool. Now, as I slide down, there will be a written overview, which is also a good place to quickly get an idea of what this tool does, what its capabilities are. You can see there'll be a general overview. It will almost always detail the main features, and this may be more or less extensive. So from add-on to add-on, the amount of information you see here may differ. If you go down, you've actually got a list of the reviews themselves. So that's another place. Sometimes it's useful to skim it at least to get an idea of how other people feel about the app. As I demonstrated before, there is a little back arrow here that would bring you to the main section. And of course there is a button to install this to give it a try if you really want to use it or at least explore it. And of course, very, very easy to uninstall these add-ons if you decide that it's not the thing for you. Let me return to the main screen. There are a couple of other ways, so I'd like you to get a feel for this. Get a feel for looking for the number of users, because that's a great indication. Look for the ratings. Read the descriptions, so you can go through rather quickly and get an idea of what some of these tools do. Alternately, you could filter by education or by other categories as well. Now, a word of warning about this. This is a great tool, and I do use it. Occasionally, what it will do is it will exclude some good tools that you might want to use that are not specifically classified for education. So they may be a general productivity tool. They may have to do with responding, say, to a form submission, and somebody submits a form through Google Forms, and you want something to happen at that point. Now, that may be included under education, or someone may not have thought of that, of including it as a primary area, even though it has lots and lots of good uses. So while refining your search through a filter is a good strategy, just be aware that at times it's going to exclude maybe something that you might find useful anyway. And of course, an additional way to do this is simply to use a search term. Okay, Twitter archiver, save emails and attachments. Okay, so searching with search terms can be helpful as well. Now, one thing you might notice is I've searched for education, and now I'm going to search for math, that it does revert to the all categories. So it's not going to allow me to filter by both education and math. Okay. I'm going to open up a Google form. Again, it doesn't matter which one I use. I just want to demonstrate the process in forms. And the process is almost exactly the same. The difference is there is no menu up here to choose your add-ons from. So you're going to find that under the More icon, the 3 vertical dots in forms. And then you'll find add-ons in there. The screen will look extremely similar. And you can see here's a general listing of things like form limiter, which is nice. It can either turn off your form at a specified time or limit the number of responses of a particular type of response. So you could, if you were having people register for a class and the class only had 30 seats, you could have it turn off after 30 respondents for that choice. And various other. Choice Eliminator is a good one. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of good ones for forms. You're going to notice that the list for forms is not quite as long as it is for sheets, but what's there, a lot of it tends to be very good and useful. Okay, so you can see the first one when I go to Sheets is Flubaroo, but when I come to Add-ons, it's GMath, and if I were to search for Flubaroo, I wouldn't find it. I don't find Flubaroo specifically because that's not something that's associated with forms per se, but with sheets. Okay, that should give you a good idea of how to do the review. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go into both sheets and forms and spend some time. Spend some time going through these, exploring them at least at kind of a top level. You don't have to install them all, but start by looking through the main group of highly used apps. Mouse over them, check their ratings, check their overviews. If something's interesting, go a little deeper, see its functionality, see how it works, perhaps read a review if you'd like. So do that in both the forms and the sheets environments, and then use that experience for the discussion in the forum at the top of the page. So a question has been posted in the forum, and I'd like you to discuss your experiences, and there are some guiding questions, or at least ideas to get started, posted right in the forum question.